Hi loves, welcome back to the channel. On this tutorial, I'll be teaching you guys how to draw a basic skirt pattern. Why this tutorial is very important is that once you know how to draft a basic skirt pattern, you can be able to draft these other styles of skirts. You can be able to manipulate the pattern to draft any style of skirt, and you can also be able to draft the skirt parts of your dresses. So if that's something you're interested in, if that's something you want to learn, keep watching. In this tutorial, I'll try to explain as if I'm explaining to a 5-year-old. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let's get right into this video. For this tutorial, we'll be drafting on my pattern paper. The first thing I will be doing is to mark out my starting line. So I will be drawing a line at the waist to indicate the starting point of my patterns. So this is my starting line for this skirt pattern. Is going to be like my waistline. So that's why I'll be placing my waist round measurement. So from that point, I'll be placing my hip point. I'll be placing my hip point at 8. The next measurement I'll be placing is my knee point. And why I like to place my knee point is that it helps with the fitting of the skirt. So it gives that pencil kind of vibe if I'm going for a pencil skirt. Now the full length I'm working with is 27, so I'm going to go ahead and mark at point 27. Now I'll be drawing a line across those points. I'm going to be labeling. So this is my waistline, this is my hip point, and this is my knee point and the full length. You can play around with the full length. It can be as long as you want, it can be as short as you want, it can even be shorter than the knee point depending on what you like. So the next measurement I'll be placing is going to be my dart measurement. And for me, how I place my skirt darts, especially for my pencil skirts, I'll be placing my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 on my waistline and on my hip point, just so I have a straight line for my dart. I'll be coming up from my hip point with 3 inches, and on both sides of that line on the waistline, I'll be going out by half an inch. Now I'll be using a slant line to connect those points back to the straight line. Okay, I'll be stopping at that mark that I made from the hip point, and after doing that, I'll be placing my round measurement. So for my waist, I'll be placing my waist round divided by 4 to measure my dart and replace it as well. So I have about 1 inch for my dart, and I'll be placing it there so I don't run short of fabric. Now for my hip round, I'll be measuring my hip round divided by 4, and I'll be placing it on my hip line. Then for my knee point, I'll be placing my hip round divided by 4 minus 1. That's what I'll be placing on my knee point. I'll be placing the same thing on my knee on my full length. So after doing that, I'll be using the curvy side of my ruler to make a curve from the waist to the hip, and then I'll be using the straight part to draw a line from the hip to the knee and from the knee to the full length. This is what I have for my front pattern. So the next thing I'll be doing is to add my allowance. I'll be adding 1 inch for this. So depending on the fabric you are using, depending on how much manipulations you'll be doing with the skirt design, in subsequent videos that I'll be using this pattern, if there is a need to add more than 1 inch allowance, I'll be adding it on the fabric. I'm also going to be adding allowance for the hem, so I'll be turning it over. This is what I have for my front pattern. One of the alterations you can make to this pattern is if you want your skirt to have a band, it can be a 1 inch band, 1.5 inch band, 2 inch band, and even as long as 3 inch band. Let me say I want my skirt to have 1.5 inch band. I'm just going to take out that 1.5 inch from the waistline, and I'll cut it open and fold out my darts, and that will be my band for the front pieces. If I want it to be 2 inches, if I want it to be 3 inches, I will just place it from the waistline, cut it out from there. So this is all you have to know about your basic front pattern. Another very important thing to do is when you are cutting your pattern, when you want to cut the hem of the pattern, I always advise that you fold it in, because if you cut it straight, you're going to run short of few inches of fabric, and you will not want that. So I prefer to fold in my hems before I cut out that part, so that it aligns with the shape of the skirt. After cutting out my pattern, this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this front pattern to draft my back pattern. And to do that, what I have to do is to place this front pattern on a fresh pattern paper. Literally, the back and the front of your skirt pieces is the same thing, just with a little alterations here and there. One of those alterations is the zipper space. That's if the skirt is going to have a zipper or a slit at the back. So to make that alterations for the back, let's say this skirt that we are drafting is going to have a zipper at the back. It's not compulsory, but let's just assume it's going to have a zipper at the back. I'm just going to be tracing out my hip line, my knee line, and my full length, and I'll be marking my zipper allowance. So let's say I want my zipper allowance to be 1.5 inch. I'll be going in by 1.5 inch on all the lines, and I'll be joining it with a straight line. So this is what I will have as my zipper allowance. So I'm going to trace out what I have for my front pieces on this back piece. So after tracing out everything I have for my front pieces on my back pieces, including the dart, this is what I have for my back pieces. So another alteration that I like to do for my back piece is on the zipper allowance. I'll be going in on that zipper allowance by 1/2 inch, and I'll be making a slant line towards the hip like so, and I'll be striking that out. The reason for that is to avoid zipper bulge. I also like to have a very slant, almost unnoticeable curve on my waistline. So after marking that out, this is what I have. So I'm going to go ahead and add my hemming allowance, and I will be cutting this out. It's also very important to remember to fold in your hemming allowance while cutting out the side. So just watch what I'm doing. I'll be uploading how to make a professional skirt, how to make a pleated skirt. I'll be uploading how to make different designs of skirts on the channel using this pattern. So if there's something you're interested in, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first person to be notified when I upload a new video. Subscription is free. Subscription is totally free. Just click on the subscribe button down below and subscribe to the channel. So after cutting it out, this is what I have for my back piece, and this is what I have for my front piece. We'll be using this pattern in future videos to draft out different designs of skirts. If this tutorial was helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so YouTube will be able to recommend it to other people. Also leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in subsequent videos. Bye.